The year is 1996. Despite all efforts, the Fortune were unable to win a championship within Michael Jordan's timeline. He wants out. It was nearly a decade since the last time the Desert was out of the second round, and Jordan wanted to win. He was seen as one of the best basketball players to touch the court, but nowhere near the greatest. At 33, MJ still has time to change that. However, the front office had other plans. See, MJ signed a 4-year extension during the 1995-96 season. For Jordan, it was a way to guarantee the most money, and the team had made some promising moves. For Las Vegas, it was leverage. In this era, player empowerment was laughable. The front office now demanded Jordan to play through the contract. After the 33-year-old threatened to go play baseball, the front office came to the table to find common ground with their star. Regardless of the era, MJ is one of the top 3 players in the league and had been since he had entered the league. This is a player that you would rather trade than get nothing for. The front office looked at the roster and the 1996 draft and saw a window of hope. The two sides came to an agreement that if Las Vegas could trade into the top 3 and secure a player who looked to be a surefire Jordan running mate, he would stay for one more year. If not, he wants to be traded before the start of next season. This is a win-win for the franchise. Trade into the top 3, land a Kobe Bryant or Allen Iverson, and either have a lethal duo or Jordan's heir to the throne is already on roster. If not, the inevitable would happen, and they would receive a haul for Michael Jordan. The Jordan sweepstakes were beginning, but the Desert had one more opportunity to stop them. All right, welcome back, and this is a very pivotal offseason for us. The goal is to get a top 3 pick. I think we have the assets to do it, although most of our roster is on restricted free agents, but I think we still have the assets to do it and hold on to Michael Jordan. It does depend on who gets the number 1 pick though. If it's a team that needs a shooting guard, we might not be able to do it. You look at this draft class, and shooting guards is the position to go get. You have Kobe Bryant, Allen Iverson, Stephon Marbury, you have Ray Allen, you have Sharif Abdul-Rahim, you have Marcus Camby here, you have Steve Nash. A very, very solid draft class. We don't have a first round pick right now. There's not really a way for us to trade up with any of the first round picks that we have because most of our picks are locked up because we traded previous years. So we may potentially have to go get some first round picks without doing it with free agency because we all need to do this before the draft. But let's get into the early part of the offseason here. As former Las Vegas Fortune Cliff Robinson hangs it up after 16 years, he had a pretty solid run for 4 years with us, won a couple championships with us, really good player alongside Kevin McHale and Sidney Moncrief. Hanging it up, Larry Nance and Danny Ainge are names to mention as well as Tom Chambers. And after our head coach retiring on us, I need to check this every single year, but we are good. Nobody retired from the Fortune. Kevin McHale is the only Hall of Famer from this class. Sidney Moncrief is able to get his jersey retired, and no rule changes of note, so we are able to just move past that. And to the most important thing for us, who do we need to try and go trade with? The Bullets, Raptors, Jazz have the top 3 odds. We don't have a pick, so we'll sim to the end, and it is the Utah Jazz. This is a very guard-heavy team. You have Penny Hardaway and you have Hershey Hawkins, 2 guys that are in their prime. They don't need a shooting guard, so we may be able to get this number 1 pick a little bit cheaper than if it was a different team. A team like the Raptors landed with the Jerry Stackhouse here is 21, but this is a team that really needs a shooting guard. That would have been a lot harder to trade for. And the interesting thing about this is to flat out trade for the number 1 pick from the trade finder. They want Michael Jordan. We are trying to keep Michael Jordan. So this is something to think about if we can't get this pick and we really want to just move on from Michael Jordan. But I think there are other trades out there for him. When you look at who's signed and who we can trade right now, Terry Mills being injured really hurts because that is a guy that at 28 we could potentially try and move. But I mean, we have scraps as of right now. We have Greg Ostertag, which we'll throw in. He's only worth 1 star. Sam Vincent's worth 1.5 stars. Really, it's going to be Del Curry that has to be moved to make this happen. I think with the assets that we have, we maybe can get it done with just giving up Del Curry, throwing a 1997 pick, maybe one more. I would rather throw in my own personally, but we cannot trade it. And like I said, we can't trade any of our picks right now that are ours ourselves. So we do have to trade these Grizzlies picks, and it's still not enough to get it done. I wonder if I throw in Greg Ostertag, that's enough. It is not. Throw in St. Vincent instead. Still not enough. I'll throw in both of them and see if we can get this done. And 2 first-round picks, a second-round pick, and Del Curry, who is having a down year statistically, but is still a very good player for us. Is this enough? It is not. One secondary move I'm going to make is trade Greg Ostertag and this second-round pick to the Kings for John Konchak. He is a 2-star value versus 2.5. So really, we're just combining our assets just a little bit to try and get a little bit more value. And if we can't get this done, 79 overall at 33 is pretty solid. And already we're getting just a little bit more value out of this, if I throw in Sam Vincent and maybe those 2 first-round picks, that might potentially be enough to get this done. Outside of that, I'm really out of assets outside of potentially Dikembe Mutombo, but I don't necessarily want to give him up. It looks like that might have to happen, and I mean, I'd hate to give up on the guy already, but he's a young guy, he's worth the value, and it is done. Del Curry, Dikembe Mutombo were pretty much rentals. It's not going to make Michael Jordan happy, but what will is the number 1 pick. Now, Del Curry is a guy I might potentially go target before the end of the offseason, but right now it is all about drafting who we think is the better of the 2 prospects. I personally think Kobe Bryant for the storyline, but also just I think he is the best overall player. He can play small forward, which we now need. Allen Iverson is more of a point guard, and we have that in Jalen Rose. A walking bucket as his archetype is awesome. Kobe and Michael Jordan, 2 legendary shooting guards, going to be teammates here. Kobe Bryant, welcome to the team. 6'6" out of Lower Merion High School. He's going to wear number 8, and 23 and 8 are now going to be teammates. Super exciting stuff for us moving forward, as Toronto's going to take Allen Iverson with the number 2 pick. He is going to be absolutely legendary for them. And around at the top 3, Stephon Marbury is going to go play for the Bullets here, another shooting guard taken. And both are 82 overalls, so there was no wrong option. Even Stephon Marbury wasn't necessarily a bad option at an 80 overall. Steve Nash at a 78, Ray Allen at a 78. To round out the top 3. Here's a look at the rest of the draft here. A lot of names here. Lots of names. This is one of the bigger draft classes in NBA history. And we got our guy, Kobe Bryant, wearing number 8. He's locked in. I'm going to see what he is at small forward. He goes up to an 83. However, I might potentially move Michael Jordan to the small forward position at 33 and let Kobe Bryant run his natural position, because at 17, he is the future, and Michael Jordan does have to realize that if he wants to stick around, there's going to have to be sacrifices made. That is saying that we did make enough changes to keep him happy. I'm not sure if that's necessarily the truth, but this is going to be fun for the 1 year. Again, he's under contract for 4 years, so there's not a whole lot that he can do to leave unless we trade him. John Contract can get us a first-round pick. I might flip him already, and I mean, 2 first-round picks from Los Angeles. We're going to go ahead and take that because this is a guy that I was just using as a trade asset. I don't necessarily see him as a future. I think we can go get a different center or move one of our power forwards to center. Jalen Rose has been a solid starting point guard. I think he still has a lot of potential to grow, so of course we're going to bring him back. And all 3 of these guys are going to get qualifying extended offers. LaFonso Ellis is a big get for us. He is probably our starting power forward moving forward, especially if Terry Mills hurt. However, you do see Hakeem Olajuwon as a unrestricted free agent. We do have the money to go get him. Do we go make a big splash? That is something to think about. Alonzo Mourning's also here, but I think Hakeem is the guy to go get, and I'm okay with losing LaFonso Ellis if we go get Hakeem Olajuwon. And the Bulls have us beat right now because of that no trade clause. I'm going to go in and see if I can offer him just a little bit more money, and then of course that no trade clause, which I'm willing to give him at 33.
Alright, while editing this, I realized that I mixed up when I had paused versus when I had unpaused during free agency. So as you can see, we got Rick Smits instead of Hakeem Olajuwon. I tried all the top centers. Rick Smits is the guy I ended up getting. So yeah, and then you can see all the guys that I had to renounce rights for. But yeah, just screwed up which way I had it paused versus when it wasn't paused on my recording. So that's why you missed it.
And Hakeem is going back to Chicago where he has a legacy of his own, and that is totally fine because we got our guy. We'll try and get Clarence Weatherspoon on a team-friendly deal here. I think he is going to take this contract, and he will, which gives us a little bit of flexibility, I think, to have at least one more space open. Still don't have cap space for LaFonso Ellis. However, we had created cap space to hold on to Hubert Davis. Same thing, we'll give him a little bit smaller contract as well. And while he's looking over his options, we have other positions we need to fill for the minimum, starting with getting Rick Smits a backup. Here at the end of free agency, Rick Smits obviously is our big get at 88 overall, but here's how we fill the rest of the roster: getting Clarence Weatherspoon back, getting Hubert Davis back, and picking up Spud Webb, undersized but a very, very solid player, picking up Isaac Austin, another big, Matt Fish, another big, and then Andrew DeClercq. We have a lot of bigs now on the roster. We filled it out pretty well. I'm very happy with how our offseason went. And I think we have our first auto-generated star, Barry Baylor. Doesn't look like a face that is like a real face. Looks like an auto-generated face. But he's an 88 overall. He signed back to the Sixers. And really, this is an offseason of loyalty. Rick Smits is the best player to swap teams. Jules King's, by the way, another auto-generated guy, at least as far as I know. Kenny Smith is really the only other guy to switch teams. going from the Clippers to the Knicks. And yeah, just a lot of guys re-signing for big contracts at their former teams, and I think we filled out our team very well. Player progression is going to be very important. Completely different team. Michael Jordan down to a 94 overall. Jalen Rose goes up 2 to a 79. Matt Fish goes up 1 to a 73. Completely different roster than what we had just a couple months ago, and we have a secondary star in Kobe Bryant. I am very excited. Michael Jordan should be happy to stay for at least 1 year. It says he's enthusiastic, which we're going to take as a positive. And at 33, he's starting to regress. We also did switch his position, which could affect that as well. Something important to look forward to next offseason is Tim Duncan, Tracy McGrady, Chauncey Billups, and more. Another draft class we could probably try and trade into the number 1 pick. And by the way, at the start of the year, we're able to pick up Dominique Wilkins with a minimum contract. That's a massive pickup at 81 overall, 36 years old, another absolute superstar to add. Granted, he is on his last leg in the NBA, but we did need to fill 2 roster spots, and 2K gave me 2 out-of-generator guys. So we're going to go pick up Dominique Wilkins, and then we're going to go get Rick Fox as well. Isaiah Austin will get the day 1 start. However, this is what our rotation will look like once we're fully healthy. Terry Mills will start at power forward. Almost a full 80 overall starting lineup. We have Dominique Wilkins coming off the bench. We have a lot of small forward minutes. We probably will trade somebody at the trade deadline, hopefully for some first-round picks. But Gerard Eaton, heading into year 2, has to feel good about the roster. I feel really good about what we did in this offseason. I'm excited. This is what's going to look day 1. However, Terry Mills, once he's healthy, will get his starting job back. And so, expecting a little bit of a rough start, but I think this is a team that'll figure it out as the season goes on. Trade deadline, we are quite literally 500. Not a single 20-point per game score on the team, but we do have 4 guys in the teens. And I'm potentially looking at trading away Hubert Davis, and I was going to trade Clarence Weatherspoon. However, he tore his Achilles and is done for the year. Matt Fish is also a guy I'm looking to trade, and I want to get some picks for these guys, end of rotation guys that I think we can replace pretty easily either in free agency or just the guys we have on roster. This is a team that when we're healthy, we're fine. Both guys having down years from last year, so we're going to go ahead and flip them for a young Malik Rose and a 2000 first-round pick from the Chicago Bulls. We're going ahead and sign Bo Outlaw as well to finish out our roster. I want to keep the changes light. I think this is a team that is very close if we can stay healthy. I might try and trade a couple of these end of rotation guys just to get a better backup center. As you see, we're very heavy on small forward and power forward minutes, so I might try and do that very quickly. Greg Austin and Rick Fox are 2 guys that have played themselves back into NBA contracts. We're going to go ahead and flip them to the Utah Jazz, who we're very good friends with now, and get Oliver Miller here, their starting center, who's been solid for them, as well as Travis Knight, who's another young prospect. And then we'll go pick up somebody else in free agency, but we get very solid center minutes, and then we limit our small forward and power forward minutes here, balance our team out just a little bit. We'll finish up the changes by signing Lamont Murray to be our backup shooting guard, and I think that this is small changes, didn't do anything massive, but we balanced our minutes per position, which is very important. I think we got better as well. Add another 80 overall to the rotation, which is always good to see, and we are currently healthy, so I think this is a team that is slightly better, but we didn't do too much to try and make them better. I wish Clarence Weatherspoon wasn't hurt, because it was a guy I was going to try and trade. Real quick, I'll do contract extensions before we start simming again. Terry Mills has 2 years left. I believe he is under contract for 1 more year before. Yes, he is. He is under contract for 1 more year before his player option. So I don't see a need to try and trade him right now. However, I might look into it real quickly. Looked around, almost every single team wanted Terry Mills. However, there's nothing that fit our timeline or position needs for this current moment, so I think he's a guy that I move on from in the off season if I am going to. The things I missed at our trade deadline stop is looking at other trades, which I haven't done a good job of looking at lately. Luke Longley got traded from the Warriors to the Spurs. That's a pretty solid trade. BJ Armstrong gets traded from the Supersonics to the Raptors. So we are starting to see computer trades, so I do need to check this a couple times. Ronnie Seekley and Reggie Williams swap teams alongside picks. And AC Green gets swapped from the Bulls to the Hawks for Kevin Willis. So we do have some very important trades in here outside of ourselves. Usually it's just been ourselves making trades, but we are starting to see other teams make trades. The real reason I stopped is I also forgot to look at the all-star teams, and I believe we should have Michael Jordan. Do we have anybody else? We do not, which is sad to see. I was hoping we get somebody else, especially since he made it at 18 points per game and 7 assists. And I mean, he is on the back end of his career. This isn't necessarily just his team anymore. This is a team by committee thing, but he's probably going to be the one getting the award still. On screen will be the true 1997 award winners. Charles Barkley wins MVP. I believe this is his 3rd straight. It is his 2nd straight. He won a championship before he's won his first MVP, but he is becoming one of the best players of this era. Allen Iverson wins Rookie of the Year over Kobe Bryant. I think he just has flat out better stats. Kobe Bryant was a second option. Allen Iverson was handed the keys to the franchise, no doubt about it. Kevin Johnson wins Sixth Man of the Year. Kevin Garnett wins DPOY in year 2. He potentially might have won Most Improved Player. Robert Horry, another Spur, wins Most Improved Player. And I mean, switch teams, switch roles. Interesting choice. Oh my goodness. Franklin Hunt won a Coach of the Year before someone from the Fortune. A former Las Vegas Fortune head coach won Coach of the Year for the Atlanta Hawks, 56-26, which is the same record we had. And that is one of the things I was not expecting to see here. I was also not expecting to see Michael Jordan not on an All-NBA team. Wow. His run of All-NBA first teams is over. He makes the All-Defensive second team as the only thing he makes. Wow, at 34, I believe that is the first time in his career he has not made an All-NBA team. He has made 12 All-NBA first teams, did not make one this year, 13-time All-Star. Wow. Wow. Kobe Bryant finished 5th in All-Rookie voting. He's on the All-Rookie first team, and that is it for us. Michael Jordan, biggest shock of the year, although looking at his statistics, not that much of a shock. And we might just have to trade him just to get value out of him. Jordan is still far and away the most efficient player on the team, despite the fact that he is no longer a 20-point per game scorer. Terry Mills is catching up to him. I mean, it's not even like a definite scoring leader, but we have so many scoring options. Adding Oliver Miller just gave us 5 double-digit scorers, so we don't have an outright dominant scorer anymore. Terry Mills at 8.5 rebounds a game leads the team. Michael Jordan has become a very good passer in the back half of his career, leading in assists. He's also our steals champ, and Terry Mills is our block champ. Jordan is also our most efficient shooter, and Dominique Wilkins, who we lost for the season with a couple weeks left in the season, was taking about 1 3 in the whole season and made one of them. Michael Jordan was our best shooter, and I mean, we don't really have any shooters anymore. We did end up trading a lot of them, but it worked out because we are the number 1 seed. So maybe trying to get on the shooting wave early was hurting us. Mitch Richmond wins the points per game champ. Charles Barkley, 13 rebounds a game, leads the league. Michael Adams, 9 assists a game, leads the league. Michael Jordan is the steals champ. Blocks champ is KG. Shaq, no doubt, wins in field goal percentage, and 3-point percentage is, of course, Del Curry, who we traded away. Had a very good season shooting the ball, however, statistically it does not look that impressive. Free throw champ is Barry Baylor. We're just gonna have to live with the fact that this guy has become a star. And we face who else but the Utah Jazz in the first round as an 8 seed. This is a team that we helped design. They have Isaiah Austin, Rick Fox, Sam Vincent, and Del Curry, all from us. Add on Penny Hardaway and Glenn Robinson and Derek Coleman. This is a scary team. I'm actually very nervous that we will get upset here. When you look at on paper, we look like the better team, but you never know. With an 8 seed like this, it's very scary, but we were able to take care of business in game 1 and game 2, and they stay alive, force a game 4, which Rick Smits gets hurt in front of. So I can't speak. We're going to a 9-man rotation, and they tied up 2-2. And like I said, this is a scary 8 seed. On paper, they don't look like an 8 seed, and they're going to hang around, and they're going to make this interesting. They might steal this on our home court. This is a very tight game here. We are going to pull away towards the end and take care of business. We will play the Phoenix Suns, and this is a team that I think is better than us. I think this is a team that's better than us. Allen Houston is better than Kobe. Mark Jackson is better than Jalen Rose. Obviously, Michael Jordan is going to dominate, but he doesn't look like a dominant player anymore. They have the better starting center. They have the better starting power forward. I don't like this. We're going to shorten our rotation, and this is where injuries have caught up to us. Rick Smits is back, but I mean, the injuries, we went and got some exciting veteran guys like Dominique Wilkins, but they just get hurt halfway through the season, and it really hurts us when it comes to the playoffs. However, we are at a 2-0 lead, so maybe I'm doubting this team too much. Up 3-1. Hopefully we can get out of the second round 3-3. Winner has to face Shaq and the Portland Trailblazers. We're at home court once again. And Simcast, please continue to be nice to us here. It looks like we have a little bit of a lead. They are hanging around, and it makes me very nervous for the end of this game where they take a lead here. This is very close down the stretch. 105-109, minute left. 107-109, 39 seconds left. We're going to jump in. And what I was anticipating to be hopefully a good playoff run might come to the end here. Hopefully I've messed with my settings, so hopefully the game isn't too loud and you can hear me over it. 2-point lead here. If they even shoot a 3, you're kind of screwed. That is not a matchup I like, even though Michael Jordan is a very good defender. Wide open 3, and that is not going to fall. That gives us control of the game, and a foul sends Michael Jordan to the line. 29 and 10 from Michael Jordan, showing why he's one of the best players of all time here. He's going to knock down a free throw to put us up 3. If he knocks us down, this is more than likely the game. 30 and 10 is vintage from MJ. All right, here we go. A quick score is needed from Phoenix to stay alive. They don't necessarily need to force up a 3, which in this era, I don't think they will. They're going to just hold the ball, get it in to Jackson in the corner, who's going to knock down a 3, and that makes things interesting. Rick Smits with the inbound here. I was going to say I would rather have it. That's not Michael Jordan. Not sure why Michael Jordan isn't in the game here. Lamont Murray's going to shoot the game-sealing free throws here with 23 seconds left. And I'm an idiot. I put myself in the wrong corner. Here's the corner that actually makes the most sense so you can see the score. 23 seconds left here in the game. We are up 3, and I think they might be out of timeouts. And the game, I don't think, allows them to roll the ball in. So Jackson's going to bring the ball up here. He did just hit a 3, so I'd prefer if we have a hand up on him so he can't just take another 3 here. 15 seconds left. Over to the corner to Gibson here. Chris Webber. And he misses. Murray's going to get the ball here, give it to Jalen Rose. And I'm not sure why Kobe's not on the court to end the game, but more than likely that is game right here. And this will be the first time in the 1990s that we get out of the second round. We are going to be going to the conference finals. The only other time we've been in the conference finals, we have won the NBA championship, so I'm very excited about that. 1 second left. He will miss. We win by 5. Protect home court. Vintage Michael Jordan, almost a triple-double. Jalen Rose, 19 and 12. I'm so happy that we drafted him and made him a point guard. And Terry Mills played very, very well. Kobe, as a rookie, pretty quiet game from him with just 10 points and just 6 shots taken. So what happens when you have a lot of scoring options is now we'll face Shaq. And Rick Smits should be healthy as he is there. And this is Chuck Person and Shaq. And that is pretty much it. And obviously Billy Owens is a guy to watch, and Howard Williams we need to respect. But I am not as worried about this as I was the other 2 teams as we go up 2-0 like we have in every other series. And so they'll win. Okay, we're up 3-1. Clarence Weatherspoon gets hurt. Dominique Wilkins is back. That could be an X factor if we're able to win, and we are. We're going to the NBA Finals against the Cleveland Cavaliers here. Dominique Wilkins is back. Had a very good season for us. Thought he was done for the year. Instead, we're going to be in the finals against the Cleveland Cavaliers. We have not been here in almost a decade, and it is Scottie Pippen versus Michael Jordan, both playing the small forward position. Outside of that, the teams are pretty even. I think we have a good chance here. Can MJ get a ring over his former co-star in real life? We tie up at 1-1. Go up 2-1 here. Mount Murray comes back from injury. Up 3-1. We're going to simcast. It'll be their home court here, and hopefully we can see us winning a trophy here. However, it looks like they're going to take this game here. Yeah, they have a pretty good lead. Can we win it on the road here in game 6? I'd like to avoid a game 7 and a 3-1 comeback, and we look relatively dominant. However, they are making it a game. It is a game of runs. 1-point game here midway through the third, and we have lost the lead here. Are we going to see a collapse? 3-3. Are we going to see a collapse? I might potentially go down to a 7-man rotation. Just play our best the whole game. Dominique Wilkins is the worst player that's going to get minutes for us at an 80 overall. I'm nervous. I am very nervous. This is not how I thought this series would go. We are at home court. It would be cool to win at home. Obviously, at this point, it'd be cool to win at all, and it looks like we will take care of business here. I am obviously going to jump in so that we get the trophy celebration, but we're gonna have the bench players in here with 32 seconds left. We trade for the number 1 pick, instantly win a championship. Could not have written it any better here. We do have the starters out still, even though we're up 29 and against Scottie Pippen. This has to feel great for this team here, as Scottie dunks on MJ to finish the season. A little revenge there, but we're gonna go ahead and win this game handedly. Here we go.
All the meetings, all the games, wins and losses, the emotion, the exhaustion, culminating into tonight.
And whenever you win the NBA championship, there is a level of accomplishment and excitement that really can't be matched. Pretty amazing to have accomplished this goal.
The celebration is here, and this place is going crazy. The bench loves it. The fans obviously overjoyed. This is one of those moments these players will never forget. And we've enjoyed bringing you every minute of the action here on 2K.
Michael Jordan was not okay. Never mind. Terry Mills with a 40 bomb in Game 7 deserves Finals MVP. I was gonna say Michael Jordan didn't win Finals MVP. Terry Mills takes home Finals MVP. He played well. Michael Jordan played well. Kobe Bryant. This is our core moving forward. Jalen Rose is going to be our 4th leading scorer, and I'm fine with that. This is the team. We're just going to run it back with this team next year. But we're back on top of the mountaintop. We win our 3rd championship in franchise history. Terry Mills, 25 and 11. Let's give him 26 and 12 in the finals, deserves Finals MVP. And although we didn't see Michael Jordan win this, it is good to see that the legacy of the franchise isn't tied directly to just one player. This does damage Jordan's legacy, but as a franchise, it's great to see other players having success as well. And there we have it. One season was all I was planning to do. Wasn't planning on it being like 40 minutes long. I'm sure this is going to be longer than I planned for it to be. I'm so excited. We finally have a core again. Michael Jordan, his era, he didn't necessarily dominate, but now Kobe's coming in, and with Terry Mills winning Finals MVP, I really don't know who the face of this team is anymore, and I'm perfectly fine with any answer you have. I'm excited to keep working towards this. The next couple ones I'm going to try and speed up, especially for winning championships. So obviously I know 2K26 is around the corner, and I want to get this done before 2K26 comes out. However, if I don't, I will finish it on 2K25 at some point. I'm also trying to prioritize my off-season content a little bit as well, so these are going to be a little bit stagnated, but hopefully I can just get more content out to you guys in the back half of the summer. So I'm excited. We got Kobe, we got Jordan, we got Terry Mills. We have a team now. It feels like any move we make has worked out, and this is awesome. Hope you guys enjoyed. Peace.